Before we begin, I am hosting an artist tournament. This is a series of videos where I have taken 12 artists and put them against each other to spread the word of genuine, gorgeous work in a day that's AI dominated, unfortunately, and to crown a artist champion with some funny moments along the way. So, if that at all interests you, then you could go over to my channel right now and watch the first 2 episodes that are already up there. More episodes are coming soon, but be sure to check them out and stay tuned for the next. And with that, let's get on to the video. Hey guys, it's the Pig King here. And today, we are back with another drawing video. You all loved the last one we did with the Jurassic Park being turned into the Dinosaur King characters, and I left the door open for you all, that if the video did well enough, I would continue making videos like this, and well, we passed the 250 like goal, so here we are. Now, what exactly are we going to be combining with Dinosaur King today? Well, from looking through your previous comments, I had some good suggestions, like How to Train Your Dragon, Lord of the Rings, but one thing that piqued my interest the most was you guys suggesting I draw kaijus. And seeing as I already done Godzilla before, I felt it would be fun to take another step into the kaiju pool. So today, we're going to be turning your suggested kaijus into Dinosaur King drawings. All of these were suggested through my Discord server, by the way, so if you're interested in potentially having your suggestions turned into videos, then go join. The link is in the description as always. And stay to the end of the video because I've got some really important news in regards to the Dinosaur King remake. So stick around for that. And with that, let's begin. Since we already did the king, it was only fitting that we would do the Queen of the Monsters next. As Mesozoic Gaming SE suggested, we have Mothra, probably the 3rd or 4th most famous kaiju next to Ultraman. Mothra was actually really challenging, but first let's talk about what went well. Firstly, I actually thought Mothra was a great choice for Dinosaur King formula, as Mothra has 2 forms, one lava form, one moth form. So naturally, it just made sense for me to put them as the adult form and the baby form. I was struggling to think of what element to make Mothra, because just like Godzilla, she could be a special type, but I felt like grass type was the better option in the end. Seeing as Mothra is very connected to nature, it just felt like the best fit. But Mothra was actually quite difficult, with the main issue coming from the wings. Mothra's wings are very unique and distinct. Her colours are really dynamic and hard to get right because they're so specific with the patterns. So when it came to designing them, I had to really pay attention to detail. But it was this detail actually that gave me a fun idea to include the grass element into the wings, not hiding the symbols on the main part of the wings. You know, I just felt it helped with the aesthetic, and since I included those details, I also decided to add the D-Team symbols to the heads of both Mothra and her larvae variant. Because since this is Dinosaur King, I felt like it would be some sort of cool twist to what they've done in the anime with the space pirates, unnatural sort of symbols there, but this time it's more organic and healthy, fitting with the D-Team. And with that, Mothra is done. For me, I quite like this result. She looks like Mothra, but also translates into the Dinosaur King style really well. Although she's not my favourite, I think she's quite solid. Next, we have the Rhedosaurus. Now, for some of you who may not know who this kaiju is, but let me just tell you, this is probably one of the most important kaijus ever made. It was only in one movie called The Beast of 20,000 Fathoms, where a giant lizard is awoken in the Arctic and proceeds to destroy New York City. The creature was created through stop motion, a rarity in the kaiju genre with only a few exceptions, and was created by none other than Ray Harryhausen, probably the most famous stop-motion animator of all time. And there's no understating, this guy was a legend in filmmaking. And it was this very movie that led to the inspiration of Godzilla. So we have this movie to thank for the big G. So, when my biggest roaster requested him, I just had to say yes. Since this movie was black and white, I decided to keep the creature in that range and not add any colours besides the shades that were given in that movie. And ultimately, I felt like it paid off. The design was probably the funnest to draw out of all the bunch, with its exaggerated lizard proportions and grey tonal shifts. In terms of elements, I went for water, as seeing the Rhedosaurus emerges from the water and destroys a lighthouse. It just seemed like the best fit, for really. And just like that, we got another one complete. To me, this one's quite a good result, with the proportions, the tones, they're all very nice, plus we got to learn a nice bit of trivia about the genre as a whole. So, let's get on to the last one. Finally, suggested by Dillaraptor, who is a member of the Artist Tournament, we have Baragon. Now, Baragon's interesting. He's quite a strange choice, especially considering he's not that popular of a kaiju. But something I noticed from the anime was that they like to include a lot of obscure dinosaurs alongside the more popular ones. So, I wanted to do the same here with the kaijus. Baragon was probably the most annoying one to sketch. His proportions and features are quite hard to look right in a sketch, but once I got it done, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there, with my favourite aspect to being the colours himself. Now, Baragon himself is not quite colourful, with either him being shown as grey or brown, but since I was following the show more, I wanted to lean more into that anime aspect, using the earth element to help decide what the colour should be. So I ultimately gave him a nice purple body with a really nice zigzag underbelly pattern, and for some contrast, giving him yellow claws and a horn fitting with Tank's colours in the show. And I ultimately made something that looked like Nidoking from Pokemon. And with that, we have Baragon. Wow, what a ride! It was a lot of fun drawing all these kaiju, way more than I initially thought after drawing Mothra, who was a pain. But which one was your favourite? For me, it has to be Baragon. I don't know why, but something about his chunky body and tail, it just works for me. And maybe it's because he looks like Nidoking, but you know, who knows. But before I go, I've got special news for you. The Dinosaur King remake. Production on the remake has started once again from what happened last time, and I thought I'd make it a bit more interesting. If you guys want to see the first trailer of the remake right now, then subscribe. My goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If we can get 3,600 subscribers, then I will release the trailer immediately. We're only around 150 subs away from that goal, so if we can get this channel to 3,600 subscribers in 2 weeks, then I will release the trailer to the Dinosaur King remake. Remember, like this video and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.